I believe Sheffield United could be on for a winner this weekend. Hello and welcome back to the Premier League preview on my channel, and most importantly, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you for your support in 2020. Here's to a better and bigger year this year. So without further ado, we've got lots to talk about as there is lots of games coming up this weekend with the new games of 2021, the first games of 2021, which of course are really exciting. They are spread across 4 days this weekend, with Everton and West Ham and Manchester United and Aston Villa all playing on Friday night. It's important to remember Aston Villa, Manchester United, both at the top end of the table and looking to push Liverpool right the way. So proceedings are kicked off on Saturday with Tottenham, who take on Leeds. Crystal Palace then take on Sheffield United, as Sheffield United look to kick off 2021 in a better way than they finished 2020. Brighton then take on Wolves, and West Brom take on Arsenal. Sunday then starts off at Turf Moor as Burnley host Fulham. Newcastle then take on Leicester. Newcastle, of course, come into this off that great 0-0 draw against Liverpool. And the big game of the weekend, you can take that as you will, the big game. Both teams not doing as well as we would associate with them, but Chelsea take on Manchester City. And proceedings are rounded off on Monday with Southampton, who take on the champions Liverpool. I believe we've got EFL and FA Cup for the next couple of weekends, so we've got that to jump into as well when the time comes. So without further ado, let's jump into the players to watch this week. The first player I've chosen to watch this week is David McGoldrick. I believe Sheffield United could be on for a winner this weekend with a very inconsistent Crystal Palace team. I think Sheffield will have been eyeing them up for a little while, that this was the side they were going to get points from. I think it's important that they do as well, because they've got a hard run of games after Newcastle next week. I believe they've got Manchester City, Manchester United, so they've got some hard games coming up. Sheffield have really disappointed so far this season, and I really have no sympathy for them. Sheffield United fans last season were very cocky and very arrogant about the way their team were playing. Yes, they were playing well, but as we all know in the world of football, life comes at you fast, and it really has for Sheffield United and their fans this season. They've been really disappointing, and I've personally been disappointed with Ethan Ampadu, Ryan Brewster, the list goes on. But David McGoldrick has been some form of shining light in the poor performances which they've suffered so far this season. I do think January could be a big month for Sheffield United, whether it's making signings. They need someone up front who is a Premier League proven striker. Someone like a Callum Wilson would have been perfect for them to sign in order to guarantee themselves a few goals. Signing Ryan Brewster looks like a good signing in the long run, but you don't want to be playing an 18, 19-year-old striker up front by himself at this age, and it's really not going to help their season or their credentials to stay in the Premier League. The next player I have chosen to watch this week is someone I actually mentioned earlier, Callum Wilson. What a performance it was against Liverpool during the last round of fixtures. He looked absolutely on it, and he was unlucky himself not to score, or at least to create a goal for someone else. He was pushing forward and really causing problems for the likes of Fabinho and Nathaniel Phillips. Despite the fact it was only a 0-0 draw and Callum Wilson didn't score, I believe against a lesser team such as Leicester City that Callum Wilson can cause a lot of damage. We all know from his time at Bournemouth that he does go through purple patches in regards to form, and Newcastle United fans will be hoping that this purple patch is here to stay and that he can get some goals from it as well, because I thought he looked really impressive. Against Leicester City, he will be playing against defenders who maybe aren't as complete on the ball as the likes of Fabinho and Nathaniel Phillips, and because of that I believe it should be a really competitive game, and I think he might be able to get on the score sheet. It depends on what Leicester team turns up at the end of the day, but it also depends on which Newcastle team turns up at the end of the day, because if they play like they did against Liverpool every weekend, then wow, they'd be a sensational team, but unfortunately that's just not how the world works. The final player I have chosen to watch this weekend is a Liverpool player. It is Thiago. He made his return against Newcastle for the last 15 minutes of the game in midweek, and I was really impressed with what he showed and what he brought to the Liverpool team. A huge range of passing from left to right. He can do everything on the ball and he's very technically sound. And I think that's what Liverpool need and have been lacking in recent weeks, is that creative spark from midfield. Firmino has been good at creating chances in recent weeks, but with Thiago that will relieve some of the stress from him, and there'll be chances that are created from different angles as well. That'll then also help put Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold further up the pitch, as they're more comfortable getting on the end of long balls, and there's those balls that are coming through from further back rather than just coming back from Firmino. Thiago offers something completely different to the likes of Curtis Jones, Milner, Henderson, Wijnaldum. He's a different type of player. He's more of a Rolls-Royce type of player. I think he could do a lot of damage this weekend against a Southampton team that are without Vestergaard as well. It could be very difficult to keep him under wraps. Anyway, that concludes this week's Premier League preview. If you have enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. This is a weekly occurrence, and of course we have the 2 Minute Tuesday coming on Tuesday. Most of all, Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for the support in 2020, and I will see you on my next video. Cheers!